A Russian drone strike on a passenger bus carrying mostly elderly women killed 9 and injured 7. Israel launched extensive strikes in Gaza as part of another fresh offensive on the besieged Palestinian territory. Arab leaders meeting at a summit in Baghdad vowed to support the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip once the war between Israel and Hamas ends. Storms sweeping across parts of the American Midwest and South have left at least 21 dead. At least 9 people were killed and 7 more injured after a Russian drone strike hit a passenger bus in the Ukrainian region of Sumy. Regional authorities say most of the victims were elderly women who were being evacuated out of the city. A period of mourning was declared in the city of Bilopilia, where the attack took place. Local officials are referring to the day of the strike as Black Saturday. Moscow has not yet responded to Ukraine's claims that it struck a civilian bus. 4 more people were killed by Russian drone attacks in the Ukrainian regions of Kharkiv and Donetsk. The attacks took place only hours after the first direct peace talks in years were held between Russian and Ukrainian officials in Turkey. Russia launched 62 drones at Ukraine following those talks. Israel has launched another major new offensive in Gaza, following a wave of airstrikes that local health authorities say killed more than 100 people the previous day. In a statement, the IDF said they launched extensive attacks and mobilized forces to seize key areas within the Gaza Strip. Local health officials reported that at least 58 people were killed so far in Israeli strikes as the military campaign intensified. Dubbed Operation Gideon's Chariots by Israeli officials, the latest military push comes amid mounting international pressure to lift an aid blockade now in its 3rd month. A UN study warned 1 in 5 people in Gaza are facing starvation, and the entire population is at high risk of famine. Israeli officials maintain that the blockade, limiting entry of food, fuel and medicine, is intended to pressure Hamas into releasing remaining hostages. Arab leaders meeting at a summit in Baghdad vowed to support the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip once the war between Israel and Hamas ends. They also reaffirmed their efforts to broker a ceasefire as the war, now in its 19th month, drags on. The summit was attended by Arab leaders including Qatar's Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani and Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres also attended. He called for the release of Israeli hostages in Gaza and the flow of humanitarian aid into the territory. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez urged greater international pressure on Israel to halt what he described as a massacre in Gaza. In recent days, Israel has intensified its military operations in the territory. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed further escalation. Storms sweeping across parts of the American Midwest and South have left at least 21 dead. In Kentucky, at least 14 people were killed by severe weather, including 9 believed to have died in what appeared to be a devastating tornado. A state official said the death toll is likely to rise. Rescuers were on the ground all night looking for survivors, and emergency shelters were set up to hand out food and other necessities. The storms killed 7 in Missouri and triggered tornadoes in Wisconsin. Several 100,000 people were left without power in the region. The total number of people injured was not immediately known, but hospitals in the area reported receiving dozens of patients, some in serious condition.